brought some of my guests here today. I have Danilo Pichardo. Say hello, Danilo.
Hello. Hi,
This is the engineer for the project. I also have Rafael, who's my consultant. Say hello, Danilo.
Hello.
As well as I have a little echo thing going on here. What is going on? Okay, I fixed it. Okay, I also have Rafael Navarro, my consultant and mouthpiece guru. Say hello, Rafael.
Hello, sir. Hello, how are you guys?
And I also have Nitzan Gabrieli, who is the keyboard player on this project. And he's an amazing musician. He is got this flawless intuition for melody and his beautiful phrasing to the point that he almost seduces you when he plays a solo. So, Nitzan, tell me, what is your creative process like? We all want to know.
Like in regards to the album or in general?
And well, both, whichever one you would like to speak of first.
Well, in regard to the album, then I think the music brings out a lot of, different rhythms and harmonies that were really interesting. So getting into that music was a fun process, because it requires to get into certain rhythms and stuff that I wasn't really aware or thinking of that much before,
Uh-huh.
So when you send the music at first, just like checking out the melodies and the harmonies, it was beautiful, man. I mean, I really enjoyed it. So I was like, and then playing it with the guys, man, that was awesome.
Well, we had so much fun, and amazingly enough, we did it all in about 10 hours. I mean, we're in the studio hardcore.
Yeah, one day, man, and it's a lot of tunes for one day, but it worked. That was really great, man.
Yeah, I can't believe we pulled it off. I felt bad for Joel on drums and Gabriel on bass, on acoustic bass. Playing acoustic bass for 10 hours is not easy.
Yeah. I know.
Even Danilo, at one point, I was asking, listen, well, how do we do this? How are we doing? He's like, I don't know.
Yeah, just by the time you get started and then you want to do another take and listen and the whole process is just like full of surprises, So I'm glad it worked out, and the studio is like the best. So it was really.
I know you got a really nice piano too, right? Danilo, what kind of piano was that? Was it just been fixed or something?
Well, I think it was like he got it recently. Nitzan, you probably know what piano he was using.
It's a Steinway D. They already had a Steinway D in that studio, but that one, unbelievable. It was built by a great piano player, James Carney, who also does piano technician and stuff. And he took that piano and worked on it and brought it there. I think not a lot before the recording, So that was great. Yeah, it was like really fun. And, I can go another day recording there. Just that would be awesome.
Well, hopefully we'll do another record in the once they open up everything and everybody gets vaccinated and what have you, and there are no problems. Then maybe we can record again. And either way, even if everybody is wearing a mask, I think I'm going to put this project together again and do another CD. So definitely, you're my guy. I'm going to call. you're the guy. There's points in the CD where I'm not playing and the guitar is not there, and so it turns into almost this piano trio, and it's absolutely, to me, it's just breathtaking. It really is just amazing. I remember Rafael mentioned that as well. Wow, your pianist it's not my pianist, but Nitzan played just amazingly, right, Rafael?
The whole band was great, but how can you not stop complimenting the piano player? He was beautiful.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. I mean, it's I think it's a combination. It's like the music that, like, recording isn't easy, obviously, to be in the moment and all that stuff. But I think with this music is kind of such a great, vehicle to be expressive. And it's like such great rhythm section players. They're holding it down, so it's free. Otherwise, so I think most of my experience recording was a combination of those things, which was especially fun. Plus, Anibal is like your thing, man, is like so melodic, So it's very, I think, because of that, it's very inspiring. So like you play this like solo burning, and it's also so soulful and melodic. So you're like, okay, I gotta step it up.
Well, it was easy to play with such a beautiful bed underneath me of sound, and there are moments in the actual CD that we were playing, and we were picking up on each other's melodies and things, and there's so many moments where Rafael and Danilo both helped me pick some of the tracks. I mean, we recorded 3 different takes per tune, and there were on probably every single tune except for maybe one, we had a hard time picking.
That's a good sign in general when you have to, it's like, instead of like the opposite would be like, I guess this take, but no, that's great. I mean, and honestly, I remember we did like 3 or 4 takes for every song right?
It was actually 3 takes per song, except for Cachai, which we started that tune at around 9:30 at night. It was the last thing we recorded. We were done. We were so tired. And I said, come on, guys, I need just one more. And I squeezed one more out of you. So we did 2 takes on that only. The only one that that was more difficult, we didn't really rehearse. I mean, Cachai I wrote literally the week of the recording, and we recorded it. But
right.
it was the last tune that, I hired Mark Miller, to arrange it for me. And he came in to, gave us, kind of conduct us at the beginning. And that was a little difficult to do in the studio.
I remember that, like, there was just kind of a different settings because of the arrangement. It required different type of, playing. But I remember, I mean, I love the way it sounds on the album. I can't remember like how many takes or exactly, or which take was eventually you chose based on the playing. But by the way, I'm curious, like, do you feel like, did you use mostly like kind of first takes or third takes, or?
Actually, most of the takes are second takes. It took us at least 1 take to kind of get the feel of it. The first take was good, but generally the second take was the best take. And the third take, we were kind of like trying to do something different most of the time. Mm-hmm. So at times it felt like we were kind of overplaying.
Yeah. Yeah.
So really the second take was really the take that, captured the moment. It was just, we kind of had it under our fingers, and the second take was just very natural. The third take was like, let's try to be cooler than we really are, sort of take,
Yeah.
And even Danilo would look at me, and raise his eyebrow and go, okay, you guys, that was great, but, you kind of really killed it on that one. It's not that kind of vibe. So, but it worked out. So, but I think what we're going to do now is I'm going to play the very first tune for our audience. This tune is actually an idea. I don't know if you know Nitsan, Jeremy Powell, saxophone player. Of course, you played with him.
Yeah, I played with him. Yeah.
And I met you when you were playing with him at Silvana.
That's right.
And when I heard you play, I mean, I got your number the night. And I said, listen, I'm going to record something and I'm looking for musicians, and you're the chosen one. So you want in or not? So we traded numbers, and the rest is history. As you can see, the product of this is this phenomenal album. But anyway, that day, I thought it was really hilarious that Jeremy, the saxophone player, would play a tune, and he said, I don't know what this is called. He hadn't put a name to the tune yet. So he said, I think I'm just going to put the date of the tune, and that's going to be the name. So it's like, I don't know, October the 11th, and that was the name of the tune, because he couldn't think of anything. So I thought to myself, when I wrote that tune, it was actually the day before Valentine's. So that's why I called it, based on the same idea that Jeremy Powell had. But after really listening to what we did and your solo and everything, to me, it became something actually, almost like a love story, because it's got a certain amount of romance and it's got a lot of feeling behind it, So like people say that each bottle of wine, once it's open, tells a lover's story, like kind of like the arc of a love affair. And I figured that this tune is pretty much that, is a love story, is the arc of somebody's love affair. And at least that's what I was. And I think the playing that was executed during that tune, it really exemplifies that sort of idea. It really, if here, I'll stop talking and I'll just play the tune and you guys can all see exactly what I'm talking about. go.
Beautiful.
Nice, man. Nice to
We
hear.
had some trouble with the camera, so we couldn't. There was some stuff that was lost, so we couldn't do like a real live thing. I don't know what happened. You know, things
Hannibal, I'm not
happen.
sure.
Oh, can you hear me?
Now I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we had some. We had a problem with the cameras during that, so I had to take, you know, scenes from everywhere and put them in. So it's not like a live kind of video kind of thing. But you know, modern technology. What can I tell you? That's the
Looks
way it
great,
is.
man. It's nice to see that.
But
Awesome.
it still worked out, and it looks really nice. Any thoughts, anyone?
Oh, that was a. As you can see on the recording, like on the film, it looks like we were having fun, and actually, we really had a lot of fun during the recording, even though we were there for like what 12 hours between setup and listening to everything. It was a very very cool experience.
Yeah, we had a good time, and I think I fed everybody really well as well. Everybody was happy with that.
I was going to ask you, Nitsan, did he fit you well? I mean, did you eat good food or?
It always depended on the take, The take, he would be like, "Hey, man, we can order more food."
Yeah, it's
Like
fun.
this one take that I messed up and I didn't eat. So no, it was great. It was a great hang, and like it was, it's just fun. The whole experience.
Sounded tight, Every single tune sounded really tight. That was to me, that was the most amazing thing when I heard the record for the first time. I kept saying, man, I like this tune better than the other one. I like this one better than the other one. I couldn't really decide. The last one was incredible too, but that you're playing was amazing. The whole band sounded so beautiful.
Yeah, that's a great writing and a great band. Makes it all.
Listen, we have Joel. He just took a beautiful drum solo on that last take. Everybody say hi to Joel.
Hey, Joel.
Hey, man.
Hey,
Hey.
Mateo!
Everybody,
Épale.
sorry, I am little working here in
Nice.
the city. Mike and Lucas. I can't see. Yeah, it's all good. Oh, hey. Mitch. How are you guys?
We're good. We're good.
Joel, listen, where are you playing, Joel?
I am here in Duane Street, close to the IRS. Unfortunately, Chambers Station, close here in I don't know what is the area, Financial District or something like that.
I don't know.
Yeah, Manhattan. Yep.
Well, listen, I actually met Joel. He's one of those drummers. I met him in Puerto Rico at the Heineken Ventana de Jazz Festival. Remember that, Joel?
Oh yeah, totally.
I was out there with Timbalaya, and we were doing the festival out there. And I can't remember who the tenor player you were playing with, but the same thing with Nitsan. I went right up to him. I looked at you and I said, listen, you're going to be on my record, and of course he laughed at me like Nitsan did. And here we are.
Yeah, glad to be part of that. And Ival to share, music with all those great musicians. Who is there? Nitzan is there, and everybody's there.
Just you and Nitsan right now. Gabriel is going to be joining us in about 20-25 minutes or so.
Nice.
So we have Danilo, the engineer.
Danilo.
Dímelo, Joel.
¿Qué hay? Coño, bueno
And we also have
felicidades,
Rafael.
Felicidades, Danilo.
Gracias.
Oh yeah,
Thank you.
Danilo
Papá
is
del año.
he's
Papá
a
del
father
año.
now. So we also have Rafael Navarro, who's also Puerto Riqueño, and he is the mouthpiece guru.
Oh, bien, Joel.
Hey, ¿todo bien?
Todo bien, papá. Está bien chévere. Gracias.
Sí.
Listen, wasn't it a warm day today in New York City, and you're wearing a hat?
What?
Are you
Not
wearing a
that warm.
hat? Is it cold?
Man, I'm playing outside. It's not that cold, but it's kind of. It's not cold, but I don't know.
Huh.
I'm wearing a hat because my hair right now is not that cool, so It's all good.
I got you. Listen, what's your favorite track of the CD? Do you remember?
I like spaghetti a lot.
Oh, you like the Flying Spaghetti? Yeah, that's track number 3, I believe.
Yes.
That's Flight of the Flying Spaghetti Monster. If nobody knows what the Flying Spaghetti Monster is, Google Flying Spaghetti Monster and you'll find out. It's quite the adventure.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
So that's the album cover that is behind you?
yes, that's the album cover that's behind me right
I
here.
didn't say. Wow, that's nice.
You haven't seen it yet?
No,
Oh,
I didn't know. Wow.
There it
Nice.
is. I owe you guys copies of the CD if you have a CD player. You know,
I
I'll
have
get
one
you.
in my car. I have an old car. So
Oh, Nitsan, you want a CD?
Sure, I'll have the CD and listen online.
Okay.
No, I do have a CD player, actually. That would be awesome, man.
All right,
Nitsan, you're in New York?
I'm in New York, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Glad to see you, brother.
You too, man. It's been a long time.
Yeah. Long
So
time.
listen, both of you guys didn't have to leave New York, right? You stayed?
I will stay here till the apocalypse, till the aliens come. The aliens are coming, so I will waiting here for them.
I'm
I'll
still
be
here.
here.
I don't know if for the aliens, but I'm around. I've been out of town for like a couple of months. In March when it started, I was in Chicago with my girlfriend. But I've been here since July, and yeah, I guess the apocalypse. We'll
Yeah.
see when it's happening. I'm ready.
Yeah. Yep.
That's good.
Aníbal, unfortunately, this break, they are kind of like looking at me to go.
All right. Listen, thank you for joining us.
But I can join again in the next hour if you're still there.
If we're still here, you can try. I don't know if we'll be here, but
Okay. When you're planning to, like, in an hour, like 45 minutes?
Yeah, we'll see. Just try. If we're here, we're here. If we're not, we're not.
Cool. I'm so sorry.
All right. Thank you, Joel, for coming.
Thank you so much, guys. And hopefully we can play soon, and hopefully all this mess pass soon.
Yes, indeed. Let's
All
hope
the
for every.
all the best to everybody.
All right. Thanks, Joel.
Cuídate, Joel.
Lisa, Nitsan, are you still gonna hang out with us, or you're going to your gig as well?
I have to get going. I have to leave I have to be there at 8. So I guess.
All right. You leave when you can. I'm going to introduce the next tune then.
I'll just say bye now, and pleasure and congratulations, and it's awesome, and send me a copy, man.
Yes, most definitely. I'll be in touch next week.
Cool, great.
Sounds amazing. And listen, thank you so much for your playing. It really was wonderful. It's
Thanks
really,
for having me,
really,
man. That was really such a fun project, and I'm glad you're releasing it. Because those things, it's not easy to make it actually happen past the recording, and you did it. So that's really great.
Yeah, on a very small budget. Things got a little rough after we got hit with all this pandemics business.
I mean, everybody experiences this in different ways.
So it's gotten really difficult, but here we made it, and I'm pushing for it all the way. So for anybody who wants a copy of the album, you can get it in Bandcamp today, people. Today, physical copy and digital copy. Now's the time to do it. Look, I got my copy. You should get your copy. You see, oh my God, it's disappearing in the background. Wow, I can't even show it. This is
put in your forehead.
There. Is it coming out?
No, put in your forehead right
there. Get a copy. I got my copy. All right. Listen, thank you so much, Nitsan. I'm going to introduce, I think the next tune we're going to play is probably my favorite tune. It's called Stay I. And it's an interesting tune, mostly because it came from the idea. I wrote it the day I was coming back from New York. I used to live in Philly, and I was coming from New York to Philly on I think it was winter time, really nighttime, a few years ago, and back when the New Jersey Turnpike had the neon signs. Now they have digital signs, but before they had neon signs. And so, you know, wherever was lit is what you had to pay attention to, obviously. In this particular occasion, one of the signs was only half lit. So it should have said stay in lane, but it didn't. It just, the only part that was lit up was stay I. And I thought that was a great title for a tune and obviously a good message, meaning be yourself because everyone else is taken, so to speak. So I wrote a tune around that idea, and it sounds a little bit like this. It's the 5th track of the album. That's the tune. That's actually one of my favorite tunes on the record. What do you
Stay
think of that
on.
one?
That was great. That sounded so good.
I really like the effect you put at the end.
Yeah.
What, in the drums or the sax?
In both.
Both. Yeah. You requested.
Yeah, well, still, you know.
Yeah, you were like, oh, I want this song to sound spacey and like broken. And I'm like, okay, let's try different things, and then it was very easy to work with you. You know.
Listen, do you remember what you told me about the solo?
I don't remember. We spoke a lot during the
Listen,
post-production.
I think we did that when we did
Oh, during the recording, you mean?
yeah, during the recording, the first take. You know, I worked on the changes because this has got a lot of changes this too, but you know, it's a nice, you know, it's nice to play over, but it's got some really interesting things. So I played all these things that I had prepared, and I'm like, oh, you know, trying to do the old Bob Berg, you know, Bob Malik sort of vibe, you know. And you call me inside, said, listen, give the band a break, let me talk to you. Remember that?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then you're like, listen, this you played great. That was an awesome solo, and I heard it, and it was awesome solo. But then you said, listen, just think of a beautiful woman and go back there and play another solo, but with that in mind. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. I muted everybody's microphone. Like, anyway, we'll have to talk. You're already shredded in a couple of tunes. Why don't you just like relax on this solo a little bit?
You know, so I did that, and man, you were so right. You were so right, because after I heard the first take was amazing, but it was you know, it was just me trying to play all this cool stuff, and it wasn't until that I heard the second take that I went, and this is the take that's on the record.
Yeah, that's the take on the record.
You know, it almost sounds like as if it's written, and it's not. So
yeah, no, that's a good thing.
Rafael actually chose the same take.
Oh yeah, I'm glad.
Yeah. You know, I like the way also the piano ended that tune. The way it was playing on top was really nice too. It's kind of like, I don't know, spacey, you know, out of this world. And I love it.
You're right. Everybody was like, well, of course, it's part of the music, but you guys were definitely like communicating a lot through each take. So you know, like it was just magic. Each take was a different world, even though it's the same tune. You're like, okay, do I want to be in this world for this song, or I want to go into this world? And it was great. It felt like that.
Love the sound of the whole production, you know?
Yeah, it was sound. Yeah,
Beautiful sound. Everything. It's just so well balanced. Congratulations, Danilo.
Oh,
thank you, Rafael. Listen, I actually wanted to talk to Danilo and ask him, Danilo, what's up with the 3 microphones? People are asking me.
Oh, someone asked you? Okay, so we use 3 different microphones. We use first. So I actually was not sure exactly what sound you were going for. So we actually didn't commit to one sound, and I'm glad that we actually didn't commit to one microphone. So we used the RCA 77. No, actually, we use an RCA 44, which is a very, very old microphone in the 50s. That is like a lot of the body, dark sound, but you feel like you're losing a lot of the highs, which is very characteristic of that microphone. Then we use the Neumann 147, M147, which is a tube mic, but it's very bright. And we also use a Ray-Ban microphone just to fill in. I think it was a recommendation of the owner. He's like, oh, use this, I think it's an M188.
Was that the little one?
The little one, yeah. That's a small biodynamic M188. And I'm always I like to record saxophone with 2 microphones, and both that complement each other. Like one that is very heavy on the low end, and another one that is brighter. And it played great on the album because there were tunes that we felt like the brighter microphone was working great, and other tunes that the darker microphone was working better. But we never mute any of the microphones. They're all present throughout each tune. The difference on the tune is that we balance with the microphone what we were, rather than doing an equalizer. We, of course, we use an equalizer, but it was mostly the coloring of your sound through the tunes was more which microphone was giving each weight to the tune, rather than going to the equalizer and changing the scoping the sound through the equalizer. It was more like balancing.
The saxophone sound was really, really natural then.
Yeah, it was very natural. It was very, very, very natural. So usually on the ballads, I was going more for the darker. On the more hype sounds, I was going more for the Neumann 147. So we definitely had like, 5 decades of development and sounds. We have a microphone from the 50s and a microphone from like early 2000s, a modern tube mic, which gave us a very, 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 very nice coloring and very like nice rainbow of where to choose.
I thought you were able to capture that really well. I mean, knowing and hearing Anibal all the time, I knew when I first heard it, it was like, man, that's right on the money. It's his pure sound without any noise, so it was nice.
Yeah, no. And also, Anibal actually was asking me before the recording, hey, I might use a brighter mouthpiece or I might use a darker. I don't know which one you use, but we were talking a lot about, like, what was your sound? Like, what were you choosing? Now, of course, if you're using a brighter mouthpiece or you are a brighter player, usually a darker microphone complements better. And, it worked out pretty well on the album. And, it's one of my favorites tenor recording that I've done thus far.
Well, I think the mouthpiece was on the darker side. I mean, Rafael would actually know better than me.
Yeah, that piece is actually that one in particular, which has gone to a different life now. In fact, is it inside of that box behind you, or where is the mouthpiece exactly now?
No, it's I have it in a box.
You should show the people what happened to the piece and where it is, so that it's connected to the album forever.
Well, I hate to say this to everybody, but the reality is that after that recording, I had the misluck of dropping the piece and the whole tip shattered. So I called Rafael almost crying. I like, oh my God, I killed the mouthpiece that I recorded the record on. So I took it to his house and then he, looked at it and he just said, I don't know about this. And he fixed it. And I have not played it since. Do you think that mouthpiece is playable, Rafael?
It will play, but not, I think it belongs where it is now in the museum.
Yeah.
That's okay. She did what she needed to do.
I have it in a box and I put the mouthpiece in there and it's kind of like, I don't know, like, how do you say?
It's not a box, it's a coffin.
It's a coffin. That's right. It's a coffin. So that mouthpiece will forever live inside of this CD and nowhere else.
Exactly. No, I thought that was a dark piece, Danilo. And it's funny because normally it's interesting with Anibal. He's been developing a sound the last 12, 15 years, I guess. But this one in particular, when I first heard him play it, I was like, okay, it's a little bit on the darker side. I don't know why he would like to play that. And he kept insisting, no, I like this piece a lot. And he kept playing it. When I first heard the first tunes on the CD, I was blown away because he was right. He was looking for a sound and he captured it. So, and you were able to do that. So I was really pretty impressed.
Oh, thank you.
But it belongs in a coffin right now and in the CD, and that's it. Because if he plays it again, that tip will shatter in his mouth.
Ugh. Yeah, we wouldn't want that.
And can you tell the guy, like, to the audience what like, I think after the 8th hour in the recording, I think you got a bliss on your lip. Like, you were like, yeah, dude, I can't play that much anymore. Like, what happened to you? I remember you told something.
Listen, we were doing 3 takes per tune. So after a while, your mouth just gets a little tired. And it actually happened because we played the last tune of the record in the middle of the day, because that's when Mark Miller was coming in and he was the arranger of that particular track. And the problem with that is that that tune is all the way down to a low B flat, but the altissimo B flat, 2 octaves above, the normal range of the saxophone. So that track features a 4 octaves on, and we played that track. We had a hard time playing the beginning, so we did the beginning maybe 3 or 4 times.
Yeah,
and on the very last, because we couldn't get the beginning with the director and everything. We couldn't see. It was just a little crazy. So we ended up playing that tune more times than any other tune, and it was the easiest one to play. And it was, it wasn't my composition. So we didn't really practice it that much. I mean, we kind of went in there and winged it. But what it didn't occur to me that, maybe sometimes jazz musicians have a hard time following a conductor because they're not, I was brought up in a kind of a legit classical school. So I'm used to following direction, so that's what I expected. And it didn't occur to me that, especially in a studio kind of situation where everybody's in a different room and you got to look through windows and this and that. So it was kind of a mess. But it finally worked out. And the way it worked out is because I kind of just let it be very natural. I told everybody, just follow me, don't follow Mark, the conductor, and just listen to what I'm playing. And the beginning was so well that I just kept going, and we did the whole thing. And that's the take that's actually on the record. But at the very end, during my solo, I'm hitting that extreme altissimo. The first altissimo B flat is an octave above that. So it was a 4, octave range solo, so to speak, So after that tune, I was kind of shot, I said, listen, can we take a little break? Because we've been playing, it was like 2:00 in the afternoon or something like that, or 3:00 by then.
I think it was later. Yeah, I think it was even later because we got into a studio, I think like around 10 a.m. All right, we'll start recording around 12 p.m. and I think we left the studio almost after 9 p.m.
Yeah, because I didn't get home till after 10:30, so I think we were there till 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
So recording, was pretty much from noon until 10 o'clock at night. By the time we did that tune, it was maybe 4 or 5. And I was a little bit shot. It was mentally difficult. Right after that tune, we took a break and we had dinner, and I felt better again, and everything was okay. But for a little bit, after, also when we did the last tune around 9:30, I asked you. We did one take, and I asked you, listen, what do you think? You're like, it's been 10 hours, dude. I don't know. Just give it another take. And we did another take. And the second take was just, it didn't work out. It was that one take, and that was it. That was the take that's on the record, which is—
You mean Cachai?
Yeah, which is the second tune. The second tune of the album is the last tune we recorded, and is the tune that everybody was beat, So I don't know how we turn it, and it's got such a groove to it. It's very relaxed. And I think it's because everybody's just so tired. But it sounded amazing. So, it was amazing. It was wonderful. So I'm really, really happy with what happened with the whole thing.
What did you have for food?
Well,
I brought...
I think we had like Japanese food. Like
listen, I brought snacks and fruit and things like that, because I didn't want to feed everybody this big meal and then everybody goes back into the studio, with a full tummy and they're like falling asleep. So I thought, well, what kind of food will give everybody energy, something light. So I ordered sushi for everybody. So everybody had, we ordered from the Japanese restaurant, and it was, it was great. We took an hour off, and we talked about the pretty much the rest of the tunes, how they were going to go while everybody ate. And once, we did a bathroom break, we hit it for another 4.5 hours or 5.
That was pre-COVID. That was back in the era when you can like share your food with other people. Like, yeah, try my roll.
Yeah, because there were so many rolls and so many.
Yeah, nobody. You can't do that anymore.
No, not
not at all.
So it'll be a difficult time if we record again. Everybody's gonna have to wear their masks and what have you. So, but it was a neat experience, and I'm really happy to put this music to play. So I have actually, another song. I don't even know if I should play it. It's a song It's Midnight Song, which is the track number 6. But this is not actually this is the first take we did. And it hasn't been mixed. So it's literally the most natural take I have. You want to hear?
So that didn't make it to the album?
It didn't make it to the album. But I've been using it as promo.
Okay.
And everybody says it sounds amazing. So, for the audience, I figured, maybe we should play this tune.
A bonus track, a bonus take.
Yeah, what it sounds like. Yeah, it's a take 1, which is actually not on the CD. Take 2 is on the CD. This is take 1, and it hasn't been mixed. Nothing. I mean, you barely touched it. You did a little.
Maybe a little bit of reverb on your horn. That was it.
Maybe a little reverb. Maybe you kind of, took some levels, but that's it. It's very natural sounding. So let's take a listen to this. And this one is called Midnight Zone, which is actually on another CD of mine, which I did as an Iwi track. And this is about this beautiful river that is in a city in Chile, in a city called Valdivia. There is a beautiful, beautiful river that is called El Cachai. And it's an interesting river because it's the only river I've ever seen that actually it opens up to the ocean, and you can smell the ocean water in the river. It's not like river water; it's real ocean water, and you can see elephant seals and things like that. And sometimes the elephant seals come out and they come on the port, by the boardwalk where people are walking, and you have these massive creatures just hanging out next to the people. I've never seen anything like it. So when I was a kid, I saw this stuff, and seeing an elephant seal as a kid will kind of freak you out because it's this monstrous looking thing. I mean, they're super tall. So my parents took me on this little boat ride in El Rio Cachai. And, the water in Chile is dark, dark greens, dark blues. And always, my imagination took the best of me. And so I was literally almost having a panic attack on this tiny little boat because the shore would actually disappear with the waves. That's how big the river is. And so I always had this in my head. And, I would wonder what kind of creatures lived on the very, very bottom. So I looked it up on Google and I said, well, what's the darkest part of the ocean called? And the darkest part of the ocean, where you have like the anglerfish and all these really strange creatures, is called the Midnight Zone. And that's why I named the tune the Midnight Zone. So it's almost a tune, I don't know, it's almost a Halloween tune, which is perfect because we just had Halloween, because I was scared, but it's a beautiful melody and it turned out amazing. And this is take 1. And what's actually on the CD is take 2, which I believe it's a better take. Also, I superimposed a little bit of my quena playing, so I hope you don't mind, Danilo. I did my own little.
Okay, no, don't worry.
Danilo, the next CD is gonna be called Calle Calle.
Calle.
I like that. Maybe the next CD should be called Calle.
And we should add some Iwi on the next one.
I was thinking, it's funny. Somebody actually asked me already if I had Iwi on the CD, and I said no. But probably the next one.
Yeah, this was more an acoustic album. Like next one could be like an Evil's Electric Band. So
Yeah.
Could be. I mean, hard to say. I don't know how electric I'll go, but
You're always electric.
Maybe, especially according to my friends, right? Yeah. Okay, let's go. All right. So here is Midnight Zone, take 2. So there we go.
Wow, that
That's a
was
nice one.
great.
Didn't sound too bad, right?
I don't hear you that well.
It didn't sound too bad, did it?
Oh wow, it sounded so good. Like yeah,
What's up with that hat, man? You look like Gato Barbieri playing.
What hat?
Didn't you have a hat when you were?
yeah. You had a hat when you were playing the cannon.
Oh, the Kena. Yeah, that's my Chileno hat. That's a Waso hat.
That's a Wazo hat.
Yeah,
Give us a
Waso
story
hat
about the house. What's the hat?
from
You
the
look like Gato
Cachai.
Barbieri playing the quena, you know?
Yeah, well, maybe I'll use that in my performances. I'm just gonna have to wear my Chilean hat and see what's up with that. I figured I was really Chilean. I should wear my Waso hat.
So he's not Argentinian.
No, definitely not Argentina. No argentino, no, definitivamente chileno. Definitivamente chileno. Sí, po. Cachai. Sí, mira. Cachai. So that's it. That's the storyline.
But wait a
Wow.
minute. Are you going to play Cachai or what?
I'm actually not. I'm not gonna play Cachai.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't have a video with that.
that's such a great tune.
It is a great tune. But listen, if people want to hear it, they're gonna have to
Buy it.
they're gonna have to buy it. That's right. And it's available now in Bandcamp. So anibalrojas.bandcamp.com, and you can get one of these.
I have mine.
You guys, Danilo, you have yours?
I don't.
Oh,
But I
Danilo.
don't have a CD player anymore.
Funny.
Yeah.
It's funny how people now have vinyl players, but they don't have CD players in their house.
Yeah, that's funny. But maybe I'll release this in vinyl. Well, you have the masters and you have everything. So
Oh, I think we should release it in vinyl. Like, so you know, before the pandemic, we were gonna release it, and then the pandemic came in, and you know that's a whole other story. But I was like, when I listened like 3 months ago, I was like, Anibal, I think we should release this album in vinyl. Like, this is a very, very good record, with a very like nice, you know, powerful sound that I think it will sound great on vinyl. So, you know, maybe in a couple of months from now on Bandcamp, for you know, people want to buy a vinyl, we can make that happen too.
I think I'm gonna have to post about it and see what people say. If people want to hear it in vinyl, I'll make a vinyl version. You know.
I like to have one.
All right.
I tell you what, I'll buy 10 or 12.
All right, and you can give them to all your socios in Puerto Rico.
Exacto. You got it.
So yeah, I guess if you know, that's a thought. It's something that I'm considering. So I have a couple of Spanish speakers in the audience, así que saludos a todos que hablan español. Si no me entendieron, podemos hacer quizás otro en español. Nosotros tres hablamos español. Rafael obviamente es de Puerto Rico y Danilo nació en República Dominicana, pero es puertorriqueño, ¿verdad?
Exactamente, correctamente.
Así es. Así que ahí vemos cómo es la cosa. Anyway, I think unless anybody has any other questions, or either in the audience, either online or here in the Zoom meeting, I guess then we're going to let everyone go and wish everybody much health, stay safe, and don't forget, yeah, get your Cachai and enjoy the music. It's a wonderful project, if I may so say myself. If I may say so myself. See, I spoke Spanish, so now my English is like shot.
Well, Aníbal, thank you so much for the music. I always think the music is beautiful and never really think that is that easy to play, you know, right, Danilo?
Oh yeah,
It's complicated, you know.
it is complicated,
but in a beautiful way. It's not complicated. It's complicated. So you know, it's I always listen to his tunes, and I'm like, man, this ideas and the way he elaborates harmonies, I'm like, wow, it's like it's not a tune. It's like poetry, or like something that, you know, somebody's going to write, like a painting. You have to descifrarlo, no? But he's a great writer and a great performer. So thank you for your music, my friend.
Thank you, Rafael. I appreciate it. Actually, every song has a story to it. So it's It's really interesting. So hopefully maybe in my next live stream, I'll talk about the different stories that come with each separate tune. I told 3 stories today, right, fellas?
You did.
Yeah, so there you go. So
you did. Next time, the next time you do this will be Calle Calle release as well.
By the way, people are telling me, Rafael, I love your AI Bahia mouthpiece.
Well, you love it, my friend, because Aniva plays it.
Well, I play that when I play with Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Everybody tells me every once in a while I hear, but you don't play that piece. I said, yes, I do. I play it everywhere except when I'm doing my records, because that's not the sound I want. So I mean, what I want for my sound is a more personal, a little bit darker sort of sound in my recordings. But in the in the kind of work that I do, whether it's jazz or I'm playing with Blood, Sweat, and Tears or Kelly Clarkson or Alicia Keys, whoever, I want some punch. I still want a lot of body, but I want a punch, and I want a little bit. It just sounds better in the AR Bahia sounds better in a section with trumpets and trombones and that thing. It's just the perfect marriage for that style of music. So even though people claim that I don't play that piece, they're very wrong, because I do play it, obviously, because it has my name on it.
But you sounded great, man. You sounded great on that piece on the record, and I can't get over the sound you got out of it, Danilo. It's funny because the last tune he played wasn't mastered, right? Was
was not even mixed. That was pretty like rough mix. That's probably like the version out of the studio.
But it sounded really nice as well.
Well, most of the work was done by them. Like, I put microphones, but they do music in front of it. Like,
yeah, sure.
It's a lot of the work comes on it because, 90% of the sound is them. Of course, the studio sound, the microphones, the preamp. We got a very nice studio over there at Samurai Hotel. That's in Queens.
Yeah, it's in Astoria.
It's in Astoria. Yeah, it's a great studio, and I think it was the perfect fit for his music.
Yeah,
I thought it was great, and I couldn't believe the piano that was there. It was an amazing day for me, for sure, and I think this is probably probably the project I'm most proud of. I think I've hit a different level with this one, so I hope people listen to it and enjoy it, because I think it's worth a listen. So anyway, fellas, I think it's time to say goodbye to everybody. Danilo, thank you so much for being here with me. Rafael, thank you so much for being here with me. You guys are the best. You are part of my team, and I appreciate you so much. I appreciate all my fans, to everybody listening and joining me for this presentation. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your support. Love you guys all. Stay safe and healthy, and let's hope for a better future for everyone.
That's right. Nos vemos, Danilo.
Nos vemos.
Cachai.
See you guys. Cachai.
Cachai, nos vemos. Ciao, ciao.